Welcome back, guys. Actually, there was some network issue for which my previous video is half connected, right? And now I am going to upload this video again, where this part I am starting from the situation where that video has ended. So there will be two parts for today, part A, part B. So in part A, we have covered few more basic question and intermediate to advanced questions before some time. And after that, we were continuing in on this question, and there was a sudden power off, so I couldn't complete the video. So for them who are going to watch the this part directly, so you can definitely prefer the first part, like why I have used the cross join and other things I have specifically mentioned in the first part. So now I am directly going to start where I have ended with. So as we know, this part was done. So in this part we were getting some values which were around, okay, what's this issue, put numpy. Let me see once again why this issue is happening. Okay, there is no return function, right? So return exam count. So once I return the exam count, I want to see what's the table looks like. So this is the table, means basically in my examination table I have merged the above things. So as I told you, first we will merge this two. Let's the result will be M, and then the M will be merged with the examination. So exactly that we will do right now. So and this is what I have done here. Like let's say this is student ID and subject name, student ID and subject name. I have just grouped them together, this thing and this thing, to just count. Okay, so dot size is just a count function. And why I couldn't use the count here, because size will give me the exact count, plus it will also calculate if there is some null value present. So let me just show you with this. If I use count, what will happen? You can see here the data frame, the index part will not be getting executed. So there are issue with the count part, right? So sometimes the index will not get executed, and the major thing is size will always calculate the nulls as well, but count will never calculate the null. It will never show for the null values. So now this is the table, guys, which we want. Now my examination table was previously this way. Now it will look like this. So I will merge the M part, means the merging of subject and students, with my new examination table, which is exam count. So quickly let's do that. So this will be my final DF structure. So final DF will look like pd dot merge. Okay. My first table was df. Second table was exam count. Exam count. How will be equals to left. Okay. And let me show you now my final DF. This is the final data frame. After merging everything, what we will get. Right, guys? So the first thing you can see over here is sorting. So it is 1 to 13 6. So this part we have to sort first. Once we sort this part, automatically this part will be sorted, and then what they will be left with is the null and some basic parts. So let's do the sorting here. So sort values function I will use here. Okay. With what I need to sort by? I need to sort by student ID, and is there anything? Our subject was math, physics, programming. So let's just sort by our student ID. Okay. And just run the query. What we have now. Okay, it is sorted now. So we are left with a null part. So we need to fill these null values right now. So I will use fill NA of 0. Probably it might work. Let's see. And it may not. Okay, it has worked and it is submitted. So this is how you can run the stuff. So let me just recall you what I have done here. First part what I did was, okay guys, one more function I can show you here. I have also tried this part. So there is another library in Python which is NumPy. So if you want, you can also try this way. This is almost same method guys, like value will be np dot nan. So what it will show is, you can see here. Yeah, it's always show a wrong thing because nan means it will just show me the null values, like where the null values is present, it will just mark them. So you can simply use 0 because I want the zeros in the table, right? So see, like this zeros I want. So basically what I have done here, the first thing what I did was I have added, means I have merged this two table, means I have joined this two table, students and subjects. This part I got the first data frame. Once I got the first data frame, so my first data frame was this way guys: student ID, student name and subject name. Okay, now what I wanted was I need to calculate number of times each student has appeared in the exam. So this thing basically I will get from here only because this is the examination table. So what I could do was I could simply just group by our student ID and our subject name because I want for individual subjects, right? You can see here they have also given in the question for each exam, means each subject. So I have just grouped by our student ID and subject name, right? And I have just calculated how many times. So dot size is the function which I have used here. So once that column will be appeared, like let's say student 1 has appeared for math one time, physics one time. So let's say this is how we are getting. So what is that column name? For that we need to give a index name, right? Means the column name. So we can use the reset index function with its inner bracket with name equals to attended exam. So another column will be appeared, which was this part. Okay, now I got two data frame. One was df, one was exam count. So there are two data frame, means two tables. Now my primary work was I need to join those two tables. So my second table of examination was student ID, subject name and attended exam, this part. And first df was data frame was student ID, student name and subject name. So I need to just merge these two table. So I have just exactly done the merge. Also I need the null values, so I have used the left value, left join, and I have sorted them by student ID because we were not getting in a proper order. And once the null value were marked, I have used fill in a function to just fill those null value and return the df. So this is quite simple guys, like it is quite simple, but the point is like how we are solving this. And here we getting, okay, what is this? Data structure, deep learning, data structure, deep learning and math. Okay, so they also want us to sort it with the subject name. So where is my sorting? Yeah, this part. Okay, so now let me just submit this thing. Mhm. Okay, so another thing which they also want is the student name where it is not present should also have a null value. So let's get back to this part again. So what my final BF was looking like is student name, right? So these are small things which you can do at the end also. Student name. Now, as I told, I need the numpy function. I can use the numpy function over here very easily, isn't it, guys? So this dot fill na, where values will be, okay, value will be np dot nan. Done. Run and submit. Let's see. Again, it is showing wrong. Why? Okay. It should not be nan. Output is nan. They need null. Output is nan. They need null. Mhm. Let's use this test case first. And let me just run this. Okay. Student name. Student name. Will enable show 0. Okay. What if I just do this way? I'm just checking with a random trick so that everything will come in null once, because of which I can, okay, now this part is null. So what I can do is fill final df of attended exams equals to final df of dot fill na of 0. Let's run. What happened? Attended spelling issue, guys, here. Okay, and again the spelling issue will be here also. So 1 second. Right, right. And let me just submit this part. It has worked. So I think so this part I can remove because it is not of any use. Just submit this. Great. It's working now. So what I did was, let me explain you in a crisp manner. Basically, when I has given here fill na this part, so what was happening in my case, test case 1, we were having null values at the 0th places, right? This plan. So when I have given the fill na option in my code, in the final DF code, then the 0 were appearing here, which was correct for the first test case. But for the second test case, they are saying that the 0 should not appear in the student name. In the student name, it should be null. But in the attended exam table column, it should be 0. So I have removed the fill NA option from here, and I have just taken these two columns. One was student name, one was attended exam, and in student name I have used the NP function, that is numpy function, while in the attended exam I have simply given the 0 as the main value, and then this code was finished. So I hope you are getting this part and it is easy to understand. If also you have any query, then please let me know, we can discuss this part. So as of now, I think SQL query will be easier, because once if you are coming from Pandas understanding pandas thing, then obviously you can use the same logic to get the SQL query. So I will not explain this query now, but I hope you can. If you will have any doubt, please let me know so that we can discuss it, or we could have connect for the next session. So let me just take this out and please try it. Okay, so I want to show you one more case. This part. This is something which is because I has as I have told you, like we will practice some questions based on different like different usages, and also this is one very good question which I got in lead, and this is based on pandas concept plus SQL concept. See, so this is something very which is way easier, but the concept that you will use is a bit tricky here, right? So first, let me just quickly explain you what does this question tells us. So this is a confirmation rate type of question where we have two tables, sign up and confirmation, right? So the question tells that the confirmation rate of a users is the number of confirms. That means number of confirm tells us how many confirmation the user has. For example, 7 and 2 are the only users with the confirm thing, right? First part. Second part, the messages are divided from with confirmed and timeout. Okay. Then what they are saying is we need to calculate the confirmation rate down up to two decimals, and the confirmation rate of a user who did not request any confirmation messages is 0. Okay, so how they are calculating this part? So let's see what's the output. 6372 has come from sign up user ID 6372, because they are ordering it by something, I think. No, there is nothing called order by. Okay, so user 6 did not request any confirmation. This is because user 6 is not present in the confirmation table. So first part is done. Number 3, made two requests, both timed out. Okay, number 3, both timed out. Okay, so it is again 0. So basically, this is a question of case and when. So I have used the case statement here, like when action. So my action table is this part in sign. So when confirmation dot action is equals to confirm, then count 1 else 0, right? So I will just take the average out of that. I will get the confirmation rate. That's all. And then what will I do is I will just group by user ID. User ID. So user ID group by confirmation. And then when I just run this code, it's getting slower actually. Yeah, it is. It has slowed now. So it is accepted, right? Now let me just submit this. Okay. Now let's do the same query in pandas. Okay, so in pandas, when you will do, here is a trick and twist. Same I will use, because I will use the merge function because there are two tables, sign ups and confirmations now equals to left, because I do need the IDs like 6 and 3 who are not confirmed. So return df. So now what it will show is the merged function it will show, right? Okay, and so it is showing everything as null. Hmm. Let's solve it again. Solve further. So new df will be equals to, I will use here Okay, first let me do the basic thing first. Group by, I have to do the group by user ID as we have done in SQL. Now, for case and when statement, there is no case and when like functions in Pandas we all know. So I will use apply function with lambda lambda which will be 1 if x of action equals confirmed. Okay, else 0. Let me see if this works. Mhm. Okay, okay. Dot reset index name equals to k. Simply I'm just writing this column name else 0. Okay, so it's showing that df of group by user id dot apply lambda x will be 1 if action equals to confirm else 0. Okay, so let me just see how I solved it couples of minutes ago only. I think so I have over solved the question. Okay, 1 second. Mhm. I use pandas right here. Actually, there are 2 to 3 methods in which I have solved this question. So yeah, this is what I was saying you, right? Dot confirm. Okay, fine. What we can do is now 1 second, guys. 1 second. There is a small thing which I want to correct here. Let's begin from the starting. So once I have merged the table, what am I getting is this part. Okay. So now I need to give the numeric values to this part, right? So what if I just do this also? Great, great. So this is what I wanted actually. There is a small thing which guys you can keep in mind, like when we are doing merge. One point that I wanted to add over here, and it was just getting out of my head, was whenever we do the merge and we have two tables this way, let's say n number of table we have, right? But the table, if they are having the same column like this way, okay, and timestamp also in this way. So basically what is join? Join is we are combining two table on a single column, like on a common column, I will say. What is my common column here? User ID, timestamp, user ID, timestamp. So the function merge doesn't know that we want to merge on just user ID, not the timestamp. And that is why we were not getting the accurate table which I wanted this way, right? So whenever we have two common columns, always we need to specify on which part we want to do the merge. So I hope this thing is clear, and this is why I was just getting stuck over this part. So now let's quickly move. I need to now number the values, right? So df of action, why df of action? Simply I can write this well on df to action dot apply lambd lambda x 1 if x of action equals to confirmed. Okay, let's run. Fine, we need this. Okay, so L0. Okay, what it is showing, strings in indices must be integer, string indices must be integer, string indices must be integer. Why? This should not be the case, I think. Done. So another thing which I wanted to share over here is whenever we write the functions this way, so dot apply of lambda, when we use lambda of x, so x always take the column as the column's value. Means if the column is x, then here x is actually that column, right? So I am writing if action equals to confirm, then it is 1, else it is 0. So wherever confirm were there it is showing now 1. Other places, timeout places, it is showing 0, and the null places also it is showing 0 to us right now. So what will I do now is I will simply do the final df method equals to df dot group by. Okay, and I will do user id dot user id on action dot mean dot reset index name equals to confirmation rate, and I will run this table. So this was one method, guys, of solving this question. Uh, I have also tried another method for you, but this method which I am going to share you right now is bit complicated method, guys. And if you know a little higher version of Pandas libraries, means Python libraries, then easily you can understand the part which I'm going to tell you. Okay, so in Python there is another library that is known as sklearn. There is the library name is sklearn, right? So what that library is having doing is the library do have a function called simple imputer, and that function is something which anyone can use, and they can work upon. So I will just basically this is lead code table, so it will not work here, but I will show you manually like how it works when we do the Python project in later stages, right? So I will just give you a brief now. Similarly, like how we import pandas as PD, the same manner we do import another library called sklearn dot. Okay, it is known as from sklearn import simple imputer. If I'm not wrong, that the spelling mistake. Sklearn, right? So sklearn is known as simple computer method right here. Let me just close this part. So this is a function, guys, right? This is itself is a function. So what does this function do, right? Let me always leave this function. Leave this part, guys, because it will confuse you. Let me tell you another function in this pandas, which we have means Python. We have another function known as label encoder. Okay, this is one very famous function that we use in pandas and data set and all. Okay, so what is the work of this function? It will always return the value of a string. Let's say there are two string a, b. Now when I use label encoder, what it will do is it will return, and it will return the values in a like numerical value. It will return, let's say it is marking a as 0, then it will mark b as 1. Then let's say again there is b, so it will mark as 1, and again let's say it is a, it will mark as 0. So basically the stuff what we were doing here, right, using the lambda function, we could have done using a simple line of label encoder, right? label label encoder. This is the primary function that we use actually, label encoder. So how do we use that one? Like let's say I write le equals to label encoder, and this, then I can just write le dot fit transform transform of df of action. That's all. Only two lines were needed, and after this I could simply have done the group by. It was that easy, guys. So like it was actually a three-liner code. Also here it is a three-liner code, but this part, the lambda of x, many of us doesn't understand what how to apply, like what is apply, what is lambda, why not just x of action, why just x. So this kind of confusion could be easily avoided by using the label encoder method. Another method is uh, target encoder, and another method is one hot encoder. It's in something. I don't I basically we generally use label encoder and target encoder in the dataset kind of problems, right? So this was one part. Another part of the question which you could have used, but it is not applicable in this framework because it is already designed and these libraries are not imputed and not easily importable in LeetCode Windows. First part is this. Okay. How about another method if I tell you? Let me just take this line, okay, and go down. So this is one lambda method you have used. I have showed you the label encoder method as well. Now I am going to show you another method that is known as mapping. So action, sorry, equals to df of action, okay, dot map, and we will use here dictionary as well. So dictionary means this thing of confirmed, confirmed, then 1, okay, comma, timeout as 0. So let's try this part. I'll just replace this with this line to see if it works or not. Okay, 1 second. Expected after dictionary key, df of action. Mhm. So guys, it's showing some small error. Otherwise, you can try with this method. It will show you this thing. Uh, I think so because of space. Is it showing that timeout? Okay, okay. I don't know why it is catching this thing. Here, I will rectify it later. Basically, guys, what is happening now is you can say this part timeout semicolon of 0 and then the comma is here, but my comma is exactly after the timeout. So I think so there is some small error over here. But you can try this method again and probably this should work. Let me just run for the last time. Great. So I told you guys, right, this method will also work, and let me just show you how the DF will look now. See, you can see here guys, so I have used two methods. One was with our lambda function, one was with our map function, and yeah, it is working. It is showing this thing, and definitely the null value we can use the similar pattern of the left join thing, and we can just play with the null values. That is not an issue. As I have told you in my previous example, like how we can remove the null value and put a fill in it. So we can definitely do that, and this query will be resolved nicely. So I showed you two methods of lambda, and I'm again pasting that method as well here, so that okay, okay. So yeah, this is that method, and this is the second method, right? So you can use any method which is better for your convenience, and then you can solve the question. So this were the parts which I wanted to discuss from lead code, and it is done. Okay, now I will show you an interesting question. As I have told you, like we will discuss something from the our interview based question of Stripe SQL. Stripe was the company. Question was difficulty level is hard. It will take some time. If you have the patience, you can hear it nicely, or else it will take some time, guys. And I was solving this today morning. So this is a question that is based on window function, sort of aggregation, and date time. So there are three things which on which this question is based. If I just give you a snap of that, so a window function, right? Different window function we have used, uh, our aggregation, and a simple date time function. So with this we can solve this query. So let's begin with the question firstly. Using the transaction table, identify any payments made at the same merchant with the same credit card, same amount within 10 minutes of each other. So same merchant first, same credit card, same amount. Condition is time, like the timestamp difference should be 10 minutes. So from this table, only one payment is that way, because you can see 101, 101, 101, like first three. Same payment is there, same credit card is there, same merchant ID is there, but only from this 12/8 to 12/28. So somewhere they have done that 10-minute stuff, and because of which they are writing that. So it is not visible here. Maybe it should be 18, I think. It should be not 12:28 because it is 20 minutes within 10 minutes. Same amount within 10 minutes. Okay, within 10 minutes means this can come now, guys. Like it started from 12. to 12:08. So it is within 10 minutes. So yeah, we can include that. So let's begin. And anything else they are trying to say? So count such repeated payments. Okay, first part. The transaction of this payment should not be counted as repeated payments. The first transaction should not be counted as repeated payments. Means they are saying, let's say 101 with credit card 1 made 100 as the payment at 12. Then the same person is making the payment at 12:08, right? So this condition is true that after 8 minutes they are making, so this part will include, but we need to just extract this 1. We should not count this as 2, like one at 12 o'clock, one at 12:08, so there are 2 payments they have made. No, we have to just count it as 1. This is what they are saying. And yeah, this is what they are saying. So there will only be one repeated payment. Okay, so let's quickly start. Select transaction ID, merchant ID, credit card ID, amount. Okay, uh, transaction timestamp. So this is what I am having in the current table. Now how will I solve the question? Okay, so in the same video as we were discussing, you remember that action table and those part where we were having two tables kind of thing, like action and, so similar pattern you can observe here. So how will I get the previous thing? I can use a lead, or I can use a lead, or I can use a lag. So I will be using here lag, because for the simple reason I don't because for the simple reason I also want the difference for the last table, and above this nothing is there. So lag of timestamp 1. What does this mean? Lag of timestamp with a jump of 1, and I don't want a null value, so where it is null value it will show the first timestamp only, over partition by. So the keyword in this question was, guys, same merchant, same credit card, same amount. So partition by merchant ID, okay, credit card ID, then amount. Mhm. Okay, amount and over, sorry, order by. On which order do we need the same thing? We can order by it as transaction ID, simple, because anything is fine, guys, like any order is fine, it's not an issue. We just need is the previous dates, that's all, as PT from transaction. Now let's just run the query and see what are we getting. Credit card, okay, this is the spelling mistake. Fine, let's run the query. Amount doesn't exist, okay, amount spelling mistake, great. So what we have, so this part I was saying, because I needed the same value, I doesn't want a null to be shown here, so I use that timestamp, then with a number of jump I1, which is our 1, and then this timestamp. So first came here, second went there, third here, fourth here. So this part is done. Okay, now what we need the count, right? So let's put this in CTE as select uh, count of amount as payment count from CTE, where date give of this, sorry, of this comma PD time equals to interval of 10 minute. Option is there in post. Yeah. Okay. It should be in single. Yeah. Timestamp without time zone. Timestamp without time zone. Is there a timestamp? Okay. Timestamp option is there. Transaction timestamp. Syntax error at timestamp. What's the syntax error here? Transaction timestamp. Transaction timestamp is there. PT is there saying this way, but it should not be the case. How come it can come? No. Let me just go back to my previous code and see what I have written. Array here. Simple guys, this can. I wrote this guys. So guys, simple it is, no, like I hope I am making some small errors, but I hope this is clear to you. Like with CTE, we have done everything as it is. Nothing is like new here. I don't know why I'm getting. Okay. One thing I can try is simply just remove this part and run. So it's done, and it will not work properly. Means I think so. It will not. It may, no, the answer may not be right. Yeah, because this is 4 and I'm getting 1. That's not an issue. Probably it is because of this part ordered by thin. So the method of solving, I think it is pretty clear to you, like how we can solve. So this question I wanted to show you because it was based on our order by timestamp. So yeah, see, order by timestamp is what I did in the previous trick, and here also in the question they have written there is nothing to do with the transaction ID actually. So simply to just show you I have done this part. Otherwise, it is pretty much clear, guys, right? So let's just leave this question, and I hope you have understood this part. It is, if I run this query, then I will get 4 because every game was based on this order part only. So this video is going to be pretty longer, guys. Like I thought it will be finished in half an hour, but it's going to be 1 hour now. The last part of today's session is the median part. So how do you calculate median in SQL? So there are many videos in net and YouTube which will tell you like you can calculate this way, that way. Okay, let me just type this, right? And let's just okay, let's just assume this is our column, right? Column A, where the values are from 1 to 10. I need to get the median of this. So manually, if I do, what is the median? Like how many values are there? 1 to 10. So basically this and this. The average of 5 and 6 should be my median because 1 to 4 and 7 to 10. Four values. So 5 and 6 should be the median. So AVG of 5 and 6 should be our median, right? So if I come to post GRE SQL, we have a function here called generate series. So basically this function, what it will do is it will give a series like row number 1 to 10, and then you can easily calculate the median based on that row number. One part is this, but since we were solving the question in MySQL before, here there is no inbuilt function. So to solve this kind of question, what we can do is we can just take that table here. Okay, I will be solving this way with some logic, guys, some beautiful logic which I have gone through some of the expertise in YouTube and I found this video. So the logic tells that if you do if you use a window function first, okay, let me just write the query itself. So like let's select the column A, and if I use the window function like row number, okay, over order by A as RNK ascending, okay, and row number over order by A DESC as RNK DESC, right? That's a from table, okay, from table. So let's say this is a CTEs, okay. So now when I do this part like select all from CTE, what will I get? I will get this first as my T table, okay. Then again this part should come like this is A clear, this is RNKASC, right? It is again in the same order, and this RNKPESC, and this will come in a reverse order. So basically if alt F, okay, there is no filter function here. How do you reverse the thing? Is there any sorting function here? Uh, sort. Array, leave it, man. Okay, so I think so this is the sorting Z2A, right? Uh, yeah, clear. So this is what will happen. It is pretty clear. I will just bold this part. And now what logic I wanted to use is, you can see 1 to 10 there are some values and 10 values. So we rank them first in ascending order. Again we rank them in descending order. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know. So let me just bring a copy here. Hmm. Just copy this part and do this. Great. So now we will be having in this order, right? One in ascending, one in descending, and this is the original column A. So what I am using is, you can see, let me show you. Let me just show you this thing. Minus of this, minus this comma this. Right. So can you see the trick here? If I just bold this part, you can see, right? 9 7 5 3 1 1, then 3 5 7 9. So this is the part which I actually want. As we have discussed, this is the median. So this is one logic which you can use. So firstly, we can just rank a row. We can just give the row number in ascending, this part, row number in descending, this part, and then you can just use your where function here. I mean a where clause here, where rnk of ASC minus rnk of DESC will be equals to 1. Then what you do average of A, average of A. That's all. Okay, just imagine guys, like let's say there are only 9 columns. So what will happen? If you just imagine this way, if there are, let's say, only 9 columns, now what will happen? Do I say 5 and 6 are my again the same thing? No, right? Now what is going to happen is, when you order them this way, this part will come, and again when you just give them this thing, so it should start from 9 because it is starting from 10. The thing is getting issues. Okay, so here the logic is this part. Whenever there is a odd kind of scenario, so another logic we can add is rnk of this and rnk of this will be always equals to 1, like 5 equals to 5, this part. So to remove those kind of issues, I can just give another condition where rnk of ASC equals to rnk of DESC. That's all guys. So basically I have used a window function where I have ranked them from this thing in this ascending order, then again in the descending order. I have extracted all of them out, like select of A from CTE, and I have just given a condition. If even means the subtraction will be equals to 1, and I can just put a absolute here ABS, so that what will happen is it will not consider 1 and minus 1 differently, it will consider it as 1 only. Subtraction will be equals to 1, or if it is an odd number, then both the ranks will be equals, it will be equal, like 5 equals to 5. So I hope you have enjoyed this video thoroughly. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Please do like, share, subscribe.